Okay, then let's take a look at how we can create the spokes. I'm going to select those parts and with M move them onto the second layer. I'm going to select my wheel and snap my 3D cursor to the center, and then I can press Shift A, add a cube, press Tab to go into edit mode, and then with S scale everything down. Maybe like this. Maybe move this up a little bit till there. I select this part, move it up, and press S to scale. And let's go into side view. It's way too big, so I scale it along the x-axis. Okay, let's say that is good for the beginning. Now if I add a subsurface modifier, you get kind of like a pill shape. And that's not really what I want. I want a tube. So to have a tube-like surface, I need to select those two surfaces, press X to delete the faces. And then by opening basically this cube, it doesn't give you a spherical shape or a pill shape, but a cylindrical open shape. Okay, so our next step again is adding an empty, and then I go to the empty property, to size, and type in 0.01, and I could call this one, for example, empty spokes, and select my geometry. Then I go to add modifiers, add the array modifier, turn relative off, turn object offset on, type in empty. And here, for example, you see when you type in EMP that it filters all the objects that maybe have this EMP in it. And here I have my wheel and spokes. Select this one. And now I could rotate this one and maybe see how far do I have to rotate it till it hits that other part or the first part. So it seems like 72 degrees. If I quickly go to Spotlight and type in 360 divided by 5 elements, because I have 5 spokes, it is indeed 72 degrees. Okay, so that means here first I can set this one to 5, and then if I rotate this one 72 degrees, then you see that it erases all those 5 elements, each one 72 degrees away from each other. And similar to the texture or the details for the wheel, I could go ahead and then maybe, let's say, the sides are a little bit too rounded, so I would maybe like to have a loop cut inserted there and a loop cut inserted there. So now it's a little bit flatter. And you see that those other elements are like clones. They're interactively created for you. I could select those 2 pairs of edges on each side, press S and X, and scale it along the x-axis. So I create kind of like this cross section. I could also maybe create a loop cut. And I'm going to move that loop cut slightly up, let's say till here, okay. And then I select the upper loop cut and maybe scale it S and Y away from each other, and already start fanning it out a little bit, S and X. And be careful that you don't push it out too far, because you still want those two surfaces, so the spoke and the rim, to intersect. So it shouldn't look like this, but it should look more like, yeah, something like this, I guess. And the whole, it still intersects. The whole point behind this is when we bring this into alias, alias will get simply surfaces, and I predefined a little bit how they relate to each other. And then the blending, that is, for example, a fillet job we then only do inside alias. And to do this, of course, the surfaces have to intersect each other a little bit, so we can create the intersection curves and then trim it and finish it up. So that's, for example, a quick way how you then can play with the styling the spokes and create a design very quickly that, for example, as you can see, is replicated along all other spokes. So you only work on one masterpiece and all the other elements are instantly updated for you.